In this video, I'm going to show you how I generated $5 million in less than 9 months with 4 employees in a brand new business. In his 1966 book, Breakthrough Advertising, copywriting legend Eugene Schwartz introduced a concept that changed the marketing landscape forever. It's called the 5 stages of market sophistication. And understanding this concept is the single biggest reason I've generated $25 million plus online in one of the most saturated markets possible. I've also leveraged this concept to spot a brand new opportunity last year that generated me $5 million in 9 months with 4 employees and then helped me get out of the opportunity at the perfect timing. And this is actually a screenshot from our tracking software here. And as you can see, in about 9 months time, we did $5 million in revenue, 800 sales, and booked over 3,400 sales calls. I'm going to show you how we did that in a moment here. If you stick with me into the end, I'm going to prove to you beyond a shadow of a doubt how mastering this concept can easily increase your company's leads, calls, sales, and profitability. And I'll show you how people like Eamon Gadzhi and Andrew Tate use it to generate tens of millions of dollars online in profit. My name is Ravi Abuvala. I'm the guy who builds marketing systems for some of the largest names in our industry, coaches, agencies, and online service providers. Some of our clients include Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank, Jeremy Miner from 7th Level, Jeff Seckinger from 0%, Greg O'Gallagher from Kinobody, Richard Yu from Impact Clients, Razvan Parashiv from Grow Channels, Justin Oglesby and Zach Williams from Conversionly, John Tesh from the John Tesh Radio Show, and over 1,000 more just like them. I am on a mission to help as many people as possible own a business instead of their business owning them. And here's a screenshot of me owning my business, being a business owner, and flying my plane around the United States. So what are the 5 stages of market sophistication? Well, market sophistication describes a level of buyer awareness of their options in a marketplace. If you sell something similar to many others, you likely have a very sophisticated market. This is also commonly known as a red ocean. An example of this in our industry is the classic "we'll get you more clients" ads that you see everywhere. I get about 5 to 10 of them every single time I open up my phone. On the other hand, if you sell something new, novel, or unique, you may have a less sophisticated market, which is known as a blue ocean. An example of this in our industry was when one of the first people started saying, "we'll place appointment setters in your business," and those ads started popping up everywhere. At the time when that started, this was very unique and novel, and those who launched those types of offers made millions of dollars. But similar to the "we'll get you more clients" ads, I now see more appointment setter offers and ads popping up daily, okay? And this is because no one offer ever stayed in one stage for too long. So this is kind of a screenshot here that I got online of the 5 levels of buyer awareness. And level 1 is the birth of a market, and you can literally just say, "we're going to place appointment setters in your business," for example. And then at level 2 is when there's competitors start to pop up, and you have to make your claim bigger than your competition. So now somebody else can come in and say, "we're going to place appointment setters and get you 50 appointments a week." But then level 3 is when now everyone's saying that they'll get you 50 appointments a week. So now you have to introduce a new mechanism in that marketplace in order to separate yourself from your competition. So now you could say, "I'm going to get you appointment setters that are only $3 an hour." And then level 4 is going to be create a better mechanism. And then level 5 is when the market level of sophistication and skepticism in it is at its absolute highest. They no longer believe in any mechanisms and any claims. And this is where you see the cost per leads, cost per calls, cost per sales increasing. And this is where I believe most people find themselves if you're a coach, consultant, agency, course creator, or online service provider. Buyers are always becoming more increasingly sophisticated as more competitors enter the market. So you can see that the level of market sophistication is here on the left, and the time, amount, and quality of buying experiences is on the bottom right. So the more competitors that enter the marketplace, the more sophisticated people are. They know the different options. They've gone on multiple sales calls. They have a rough idea of what the pricing is, and the more you'll have to adjust your offer or do what I'm going to say in this video here. And there is a direct correlation between the difficulty of copying an offer and the speed at which competitors enter the marketplace. For example, if you're just showing people how to run ads to get clients, it's very easy for someone else, maybe even one of your clients that you showed that method to copy this and start teaching it to others, i.e. to become a competitor. So if it's easy for someone to take what you're doing and then just literally do the exact same thing to your same marketplace, then the speed at which competitors enter the marketplace increases very, very quickly. On the other hand, If your offer is much more difficult to copy, like having proprietary systems or technology, then the rate at which competitors enter the market and thus the speed at which buyers become aware of their options is lower. And that's why it's really ideal whenever possible to try to always stay in the left-hand side of this chart, where you have the lowest levels of buyer sophistication, because it's so much easier to acquire clients. But that's not always possible, and there's other options, as I'm going to get into here in a moment, okay? And I believe this is the number one problem with the coaching, consulting, course creator, agency, and online service industries. Not only is there nothing really unique about what you're selling, but thousands of gurus are teaching tens of thousands of their competitors how to sell the exact same thing, thus rapidly expanding the sophistication of your marketplace. So we're in a unique industry, in a unique situation here, where what we're selling, arguably is not that unique, right? Because I'm sorry to tell you, but you're not uber unique. You're not creating something out of thin air that no one's ever heard of before, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. And so what's happening is you might teach your clients something, or somebody else sees you're doing well, and then they just copy the exact same ad, funnel, et cetera, and that rapidly increases the level of sophistication in your marketplace. And then the reason we're in a unique situation is because then other people copy what you're doing and show other people how to do the exact same thing, and it's just like this almost incestuous cycle of coaches coaching coaches, and same thing with agencies, course creators, service providers, et cetera. And what happens here is this leads to a lower number of sales calls, a higher cost per sales call, high no-show rates, low close rates, 60+ minute sales calls, extended sales cycles, and increasingly lower profitability. And this may be something that you feel like you're experiencing right now, one or all of these. I know I have experienced this in the past. And let me also clarify a common misconception, right? You might say, oh, my stuff is unique because maybe you're offering money back guarantees. You're saying you care about your clients so much. You have so much obsession around client success, or you have this many client case studies or testimonials. But the truth is that does not matter. And this is coming from somebody who literally has over 1,000 published client wins, videos, and testimonials on the homepage of our website. So I'm not saying that you're never going to use it, but I'm saying that in the long run, for the growth of your business, nobody cares how many client testimonials, case studies, or wins you have, because that stuff doesn't make your offer unique, because everyone can claim the same thing. As soon as you say, I have a money back guarantee, now everybody else offers money back guarantee. As soon as you say, I care about my clients and we'll do one-on-one support, now everybody is saying, I care about my clients and have one-on-one support. As soon as you say, I made this client this amount of money, this person says, I made this client this amount of money. As soon as somebody says, I helped this client lose this amount of weight, everybody says, I helped this client lose this amount of weight, right? It's very easy to make claims. It's very easy to copy exactly what you're doing when all you're doing is just making bigger and bolder claims. And as I scroll down here, there's a quote from the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing, which is, it's better to be first than it is to be better. I'm going to say that again because when I read this first from this book, it just changed my life forever. It is better to be first than it is to be better. So people don't actually care about how many case studies, client testimonials, or wins that you have, because they just want the new thing. They want the thing that they have not tried in the past, and this is why their business is not growing. This is why they're not losing weight. This is why they don't have the reach that they want to reach. This is why they're not making enough money. This is why they're not a better husband or a better father. This is why they're not getting enough leads. This is why their SEO is not at the top rankings. Enter any business that you run here. It's always better to be first than it is to be better. So the question you're left asking is, what are your options? Should you just stop what you're doing and start a new business, right? Have I just totally thrown you out of loop here? Are you just like, oh my God, Ravi just showed me this doom and gloom about this business that I'm running, and I understand everything he's saying here. I am getting a hard time getting more leads. I am having a hard time getting more sales calls. I'm getting lower profitability. I see people copying my offer left and right. So should you just stop what you're doing and start a brand new business? Well, the truth is maybe, okay? The way that I see it, you have three options. Option number one is to find a blue ocean. You stop everything you're doing, you lock yourself in a cabin for 4 weeks and come out with a new offer that's new, unique, and incredibly difficult to copy. And this is what's known as a blue ocean offer. This would put you in a very unsophisticated market and allow you to easily acquire clients without any competition. Think about maybe when you first launch your offer, if you were one of the first movers in there. I know that I was when I first launched my offer, and we were getting book calls for $30. It's the same people that launched Amazon stores, back before everyone figured out that the majority of them were scams, or Walmart stores, or AI automation, or any of this stuff. When you can come up with a brand new offer that nobody's ever offered in the past, then it's a blue ocean and you can just sweep the floor. You're just printing cash at that point. But this is way easier said than done. I have optimized over 1,000 offers, and I can tell you that maybe 2% of them were really a blue ocean offer. The other problem is that just because something is difficult to copy, it doesn't mean that it's impossible to copy. And eventually, other people will enter the marketplace. So this is not the best bang for your buck. So even if you want to go, lock yourself in your cabin, totally shut down your business, stop generating sales, stop generating money, say goodbye to all your clients, stop everything, and go try to Sir Isaac Newton it and come up with this brand new blue ocean offer, yes, you could have for a little bit of time some leadway there, but every single business is eventually going to be copied if it is successful. If it's not successful, then it doesn't matter. But if it is successful, every business will eventually be copied. And an example here I wanted to show you, if you're like, oh, my stuff is unique. I remember when going to space was a really new, unique blue ocean offer. And now if you actually type in trip to space, there's literally like 5 or 6 different companies that will take you to space. Okay. And I've actually put a deposit on one of them. That's neither here nor there. But the point being that, like, if you're thinking that your agency or coaching offer is this new, unique thing that nobody's ever going to copy, these people are literally creating rocket ships to take people to space to compete with each other. So do you think that someone's eventually going to maybe copy you as well? And this is why I don't recommend creating a blue ocean offer unless you've exhausted option number 2 and number 3, which I'm about to get into. And this is like, this is crazy. This is heresy for a lot of people. Like, oh, I thought I have to go create this blue ocean offer. In reality, I don't recommend doing this because no matter what, all markets are eventually moving towards sophistication. So if your solution towards a market moving to sophistication is always creating a new offer, it's going to be exhausting and you're never going to have a real business. Okay. Option number 2, create a unique mechanism. This is similar to option number 1, except it doesn't involve a radical change from what you're currently doing. You will still serve the same avatar and offer a similar transformation, but how your clients achieve that transformation will be new and unique. So I like this because it's better than going in and just like blowing up your current business and building a new business elsewhere, in that you're kind of still serving the same avatar. You're still going to be offering relatively the same transformation, but you're going to come and say, hey, there's this new and unique way you've never heard of to do this. So, I'm going to give a few examples here, but an example I'll give right now would be like, let's say you're a men's weight loss coach and you're obviously your avatar is men that are overweight and your transformation is that they have a 6-pack abs. Well, everyone's doing the exact same thing right now. Like, let's say they're doing working out 5 days a week. But what if you came in and introduced something new and novel and unique? Like, let's say, I've seen these things that like you put them on your abs and they just automatically electrocute your abs or shake your abs. And it's like doing 6,000 crunches in a minute or something like that. Well, that's great. That's new and that's unique. So you're coming in, you're adding this new mechanism, this like ab machine thing that you have. And now you're still serving the same people. So you don't have to change everything. You know what their pain points are. You're still getting them a 6-pack ab, but you're just creating a new mechanism that no one's really heard of before. And it's important that you understand the unique mechanism is unique. I know that's like, Ravi, why are you telling me unique mechanism is unique? It's because a lot of people don't actually understand what a unique mechanism is, which means that if I said this and in the time it took you to listen to me say a unique mechanism and you're like, oh, I got a unique mechanism. If it took you 5 minutes, then it's likely not that unique. Okay. So for example, for us, it took me months to create our unique mechanism, which I'm going to get into here in a moment. A great unique mechanism is something that nobody's ever heard of. So by the definition of unique, nobody's ever heard of, nobody's ever doing it. It's truly unique. It's not like your mom saying that you're unique and special, but really you're the same as everybody else. It's like, actually, it's unique. It actually works. So you can't just like, because you have a lot of competition in the marketplace, you can't just make up this new thing because you're like, oh, this is a new thing that everyone's going to come after, because eventually that always fails, right? That's the same thing that happened with Amazon stores and Walmart stores. It's like, okay, cool. The concept in general, it was something that nobody had ever heard of, and it also makes logical sense in an argument, which I'm going to get to here in a moment, but it didn't actually work, right? It was against Amazon's terms of service, and they eventually shut everything down. So you can't just make something up for the sake of making something up. It actually needs to work. Like I said, it needs to make logical sense in an argument, so you need to be able to create what's known as a campaign argument for your marketing, which is like, for example, one of our campaign arguments is like, it's very easy to copy what you're doing. Because it's easy to copy what you're doing, you need to do something that's difficult to copy. Because you need to do something that's difficult to copy, Ravi XYZ. Like you have to create a logical arguments, and it doesn't have like an imaginary sounding name. So you can't just make up a unique mechanism by saying it's Ravi's super secret marketing system. That's the unique mechanism because, oh, that's unique. It works. You know, if I explained it to somebody, it would make sense in an argument, but we're talking about copywriting here. We're talking about marketing here, which is the most important thing, in my opinion, in your business. And if you're talking about marketing, then you're really gonna have to talk about top of funnel ads, top of funnel copywriting, people that have never heard you. And if I come out there and I say Ravi's super secret marketing system, everyone's gonna say the exact same thing, which is who the hell is Ravi, right? So the great unique mechanism has all four of these things, not just one. Great examples of unique mechanisms over the years in our industry have been appointment setters, placing appointment setters. When Facebook groups, like the first became a huge, big thing. YouTube ads, when that first, stop running ads on Facebook, come over to YouTube ads. And what we offer our clients, which is known as the self-sustaining funnel, which I'm going to get to in a little bit later here. So those are all unique mechanisms, okay? And finding and marketing a unique mechanism is like training a muscle, okay, in your body. The more you work at it, the better you get at it, which is why this is one of the most valuable things that we do for our clients. We're essentially Arnold Schwarzenegger in this example of the muscle, right? So we actually help our clients create unique mechanisms for their business, but that's not even enough, okay? Now, this is better than option number one because it doesn't require a new business and it gives you some runway for time. So when you launch a new unique mechanism, if it truly is unique, if it truly actually works, if it makes logical sense in an argument, if you have a good sounding name for it, then you will start to separate yourself from your competition for a short period of time. There's no doubt about that. But like option number one, it will eventually be copied. And think back to when like appointment setters used to be the hottest new thing. I remember when appointment setters first came out, no one had ever heard of it. And it was like, people were just making millions of dollars saying, we'll place you an appointment setter. There's no video sales letter, no sales copy, ugly websites, bad sales pages, but they were still making a lot of money because it was this new concept that nobody had ever heard of. But now, every single time I open up my feed, I'm seeing somebody saying, we'll place you an appointment setter. We'll place you an appointment setter, right? So even if your appointment setters are quote unquote the best, it doesn't really matter because people, remember, new is better than better, okay? So thus, in the end, you'll end up in a red ocean with a very sophisticated market. So option number three, what I highly recommend doing is building a brand. Wow, right? Pretty underwhelming, okay? You were probably expecting something more insane, something revolutionary, something unique, if you will. Well, stick with me because I'm not talking about putting up billboards with no hopes of return on investment. Your brand is by far the most valuable thing in your business. And I love this quote by Alex Ramosi. He said, the longer I do business, the longer I believe in a single truth, which is brand is greater than everything else. And the reason for this is because a brand is impossible to copy. Nobody can be Ravi Abuvala. Nobody has the same combination of experiences, likes, dislikes, looks, you know what I mean, knowledge, and expertise. This is why when you are at the highest level of buyer sophistication, the only way to separate yourself is through your brand. And if you're watching this right now and you're a coach, a consultant, a course creator, an agency owner, an online service provider, you are at the highest level of market sophistication. The industry has never been more saturated than it is right now. And guess what? There's more people entering the marketplace every single day. So it's only going to become more sophisticated in the future. So just coming out and running ads, direct video sales letters and webinars and DM ads and all this stuff, that stuff will not work. I money back guarantee you. I'm going to prove to you in a minute. I've spent over $4 million in ads doing all of that stuff, okay? That stuff does not work anymore because you're no longer at a level 1, 2, or even 3 of buyer sophistication in our marketplace. We are at a level 5. And, you know, if you're watching this as well and you're a real estate agent, a loan officer, right? If you're a local restaurant, we don't serve those businesses, but you are very likely at a level 5 in market sophistication, okay? So the only way to separate yourself at this level 5 is through your brands. You do it through stories, through content, through consistent exposure to you and your company. And Eugene Schwartz said, you are dealing here with the problem of bringing your prospect into your ad, not through desire, but through identification. So you're not trying to say, do you want more sales calls? Do you want more clients? It's more like, I want to be either like Ravi, I want to work with Ravi, I want to work with Scaling with Systems, or an examples here, as I'm going to give you in a moment, is going to be like, I want to be like Iman Gadzhi. I want to have his lifestyle. I want to be like Kylie Jenner. I want to be like The Rock, right? So it's no longer that you want the thing that they're selling. You want to be like them, or you like the brand associated with them. You like the community that they have associated with them, what it says about who they are, right? That's what you're doing at a level 5 market sophistication, okay? And I'm just going to show you over here this graph one more time. Level 5, the market's level of skepticism is at the maximum. They no longer believe in any mechanisms, okay? So you can't just come up with a new mechanism, okay? That's what I'm saying. Like, the unique mechanism is good for a time until everybody's coming up with new unique mechanisms, and now you need to focus on identity, a brand, building something that'll last. And if you don't believe me, how do you think Kylie Jenner became a billionaire selling makeup? How do you think The Rock was able to reach $100 million or an $800 million net worth selling tequila? How do you think Iman Gadzhi makes $40 million a year selling SMMA coaching? How do you think Wes Watson makes $25 million a year selling men's coaching? We are talking about literally the most sophisticated and saturated industries on the planet. Makeup, tequila, coaching, SMA coaching, men's coaching, the most saturated industries that there are out there. Yet these people are making generational wealth. And I can attest to this as well, because I've made over $25 million online doing the exact same thing. And if we know that every market will eventually be sophisticated, because every market's moving to the right towards that level of sophistication on this example right here, right? Every market will be sophisticated. We know that every market will eventually be saturated. There's no what niche is not saturated. That doesn't exist anymore. It's just the level of saturation, and they're all eventually going to be incredibly saturated. Then it stands to reason that the only way to build trust in a business, the only way to truly build a business worth any value, a business that can continue to pump out millions of dollars a year in profit for years into the future, a business with a moat that is literally impossible to copy, is to start building a brand and start doing it right now. If you don't, you'll end up in one of two scenarios. You'll either be constantly creating new offers and new unique mechanisms, or your business will eventually stop being profitable and you'll be forced to close it down. And I kind of create this little graphic here. You have to excuse, I'm not the best artist in the world, but this is what I see after working with 1,000+ businesses and me having launched and scaled multiple companies myself. This is what I've always noticed, right? So you have a new offer. Typically, you come up with this new idea. It's this thing that nobody's ever heard of. It's a unique mechanism, and you've done a good job at stage 1. And typically, you're at the level 1 of market sophistication. But then as soon as you start going public with it, everybody starts entering the marketplace. And I guarantee you, with what I'm doing right here in these videos and this content here, watch more people copy exactly what I'm doing in the next 6 months. Just watch the date of this video and then watch everybody start copying what I'm doing. Okay, that's how you can start to tell. Just look at who was the first people to really start talking about it, and then look at the people later on that start posting videos about it and running ads for it, et cetera, et cetera. So no matter what, competitors are going to enter the marketplace, which is when your roller coaster starts going down. And then in the bottom here, the business stalls and you start losing money, right? So you have a new offer in the very beginning, everything's going great. Everybody sees you have a new offer, so they start copying what you're doing. And then the market becomes incredibly sophisticated, incredibly saturated. It's a red ocean, and you haven't done what was required to combat a red ocean, which isn't just go back up the roller coaster again and launch a new offer, but instead it is to build a brand. And the truth is that neither of us wants that end result for you. Our mission at our company is to build a business that serves you instead of the other way around. And the only way to do that in the long run is to build a brand. Now, let me finally address the biggest concern when I tell somebody that they need to build a brand, which is, I don't have time. I always hear this all the time. I don't have time, Ravi, to build a brand. I'm trying to run my business right now. Well, first of all, whether you make time for it or not, you already have a brand. The problem is that if you're not intentional with your brand, other people are creating the brand for you. So upset clients are creating brand for you. Could be happy clients are creating the brand for you. Other people on YouTube are creating the brand for you. People that you meet are creating the brand for you. So no matter what, you have a brand that is being created. And so what you want to do is be intentional about the brand that you're creating. Otherwise, you have other people deciding essentially what is the future of your life and your business. Second of all, did we not just cover why this is the most important thing for you to do in your business? Like, I just spent this entire past, 25 minutes telling you why you need to build a brand, and you're going to tell me you don't have time? I mean, literally, what could be the bigger return on your time in the long run if you were going to look far enough into the future, which is exactly what you need to do. Even in the short term, you need to look long term in the future, because eventually competitors are going to be in the marketplace, and your business is going to stall and lose money unless you start addressing this, okay? Third of all, you'll never have the time. I actually despise that saying, I don't have the time. You need to make the time. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in the past year in business is that you should always be building two businesses, your current one and your future one. I'm going to say this again because I don't think enough people talk about this, and I have lost millions of dollars doing this incorrectly. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in the past year in business is that you should always be building two businesses, your current one and your future one. Okay? If you're not, your current one will become obsolete, forcing you to have to start over again. So if you're always on this roller coaster right here, if you're always just focused on the one business in front of you and the technical aspect of getting this ad launched and getting a sale in the door tomorrow, if you're always focused on this one directly in front of you, then you're always on this roller coaster of this revenue roller coaster in your business. Okay? So even if you don't know what your future business will be, by focusing your time and money today on building a brand, you'll be able to transfer that brand equity into any offer you eventually launch. It's the same way Mr. Beast created a brand first, right? He created Mr. Beast, generated tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of views and subscribers online, and then he launched Mr. Beast Burger and Feastables, right? So even if you don't know, eventually, like I have a lot of clients say, Ravi, I don't want to run ads for real estate agents forever, or I don't want to do XYZ forever. I always say that's fine, right? You always building two businesses. Build the one that you have right now and continue to focus on that. But you should also, almost like a 9-to-5 job, after you're done clocking out for the day for that job, you then start working on the future business, whether that's a better business of what you currently have, or even eventually a business that is different than what you currently have. No matter what you're going to need in any business is a brand, right? And it's better, a brand you can't create overnight. So you might as well start creating it today. Now, the question on everyone's mind at this point is, how do you even build a brand, right? It's such a esoterical, theologian, build a brand, right? What the hell does that even mean, okay? And a year ago, I probably wouldn't have even had an answer to that question. But once I understood everything that I just shared with you, I decided to apply my systems expertise. So my company's name is Scaling with Systems. I'm absolutely obsessed with systems. And my direct marketing mastery, I've spent over $4 million in paid advertising online to create a system that builds brands. So it's no longer this guesswork of just post content and sponsor a few events and go to masterminds and show your face around and create a great product. What the hell does that even mean? No, I've actually created a system around building a brand. And this is just proof. Literally, we've spent millions and millions of dollars on ads online. This is for me, my own money, not me running ads for my clients. $2.8 million in this Google ad account, $468,000, this Facebook ad account, $323,000 in this ad account, $96,000 this ad account. So, I've done the direct response marketing thing. I've been in this game for 4+ years. And what I'm talking about is you need to be doing both at the exact same time. You need to be generating the leads, calls, and sales today, and you need to be building a brand for the future. So this system that I have created, right, has generated us 20 sales calls a day, every day for the last year. So here's a screenshot from our sales call calendar analytics. You can see in the past 365 days, we have 7.1 thousand sales calls on the calendar. If you divide that up, that's about 20 sales calls a day. This system has enabled us to build a brand for the long term, while at the same time generating the leads, calls, and sales required to sustain our business in the short term. And this is, in my opinion, what really separates this system from everything else is the fact that it's not just focused on the long term of building the brand, and then you don't have enough cash next week to make payroll or to run ads, and you're like, oh, well, eventually it'll happen in the brand. No. This does both concurrently, both at the same time, both parallel with each other, and they both feed into each other, okay? This system systematically and ethically manufacture trust with our prospects before the sales call, which has led to higher show-up rates, higher close rates, and more cash collected up front. So the really great thing about this system is that right now we're in a trust recession where everybody is so skeptical. We're in a level 5 awareness of sophistication. So everybody's so skeptical to even get on a sales call to begin with, which is why you need to systematically and ethically manufacture trust with prospects before they even book their sales call. And you do that using this system. And if you're able to do it, then you're able to have higher show-up rates, higher close rates, and more cash collected upfront on those sales calls. And this system has brought me clients like Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank and Jerry Minor from 7th Level. This system has built me an audience in the hundreds of thousands that I own. I'm not talking about audiences on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Snapchat and all that stuff. I'm talking about audience in the hundreds of thousands that I own, giving me the ability to make money on command. This system has more than doubled our reach in the last 12 months, with me spending less time working than I was before. And as usual, I like to show proof. Here's a screenshot of our YouTube account. You can see in the past 12 months, we have gotten 95% more views in the last 365 days. I took this screenshot literally January 3rd, okay? And the best part is that this system can be managed in-house by one person in less than an hour a day. Now, the system is called the self-sustaining funnel, and you can learn more about it by clicking the video below this video right here or somewhere on your screen. I can't cover the self-sustaining funnel in this video because that is an hour and 10 long minutes explanation of what it is there as well. So I'm sorry that I didn't get to cover the entire thing here, but hopefully you got enough value out of this to at least, even if you don't watch that video, understand that you need to start building a brand today. And if you want to know how to systemize the creation of that brand, I recommend checking out that video there. Now, if you have heard enough and you want us to install this self-sustaining funnel for you, if you're just like, look, this makes sense, I'm totally on board, I don't need any more information, I just recommend going below, booking a call to speak with our team, and we can walk you through what that process looks like. And then immediately after you book the call, we're actually going to give you a much more in-depth explanation of what the self-sustaining funnel is and exactly what it is that we do for you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know. I know these are longer ones. If you want the link to this document, it'll be down below. Remember, if you want us to do this for you, click book a call to speak with our team. And also, if you want to check out what the self-sustaining funnel is, be sure to click the video on your screen now. Thanks.